Good evening, everyone. How are we doing? And welcome to Delkim Live on a Tuesday. Every week we do this, 6:30 until about 7:15, 45 minutes of Delkim chat and chatter and product information and anything really that you guys want to talk about. So I'm Lee Romang. If you've never seen me before, never been on one of these before, I'm the commercial director of Delkim, and if I don't know it, then nobody knows it, basically. So if you're on here and you've got some questions, please put them on the chat. I'm here to answer as many questions as I can, and any help and advice that you might have with any products, new or old, anything Delkim, then please put it on here and let me help you as best we can. If you've got any issues, then no problem at all. Tonight, what we're going to talk about, bits and pieces, but we're also going to have a look at the EVD. So we launched that virtually just before lockdown, so in February. So that is our lower end model. The EVD is a basic non-radio alarm, and we're going to look at that and show you why it's such a good quality alarm. So maybe if you're fishing more on a budget, or you are even somebody that doesn't need a radio at all, then this could really be the alarm for you. Good evening, those people joining us. Hello, Wayne Tess. Hello, Wayne Horn. Michael Jocelyn. Hello, these are all regulars. Angel, hello to you. Mark Burdage, hello. And Silent T on YouTube. We are on YouTube and we are on Facebook. And if you're just joining me tonight, hello. How are we doing? Hope you're all well. And I hope you are safe. And I hope you're enjoying the freedoms that we are now getting more and more of. Fishing has been one of those freedoms that we've been enjoying for a long time, and everybody's making the most of that, and that is fantastic, and long may it continue. I have said this a few times, but the perversely lockdown may well have been the biggest boost for the fishing industry that it's ever had, and the hobby itself as general, just every man and his dog and woman and child has dragged out their fishing kit or wanted to get involved in fishing because it seems to be a safe thing to do. So what can you say? Fantastic. That's what we're here for, and that's great, and long may that continue. Mark Burge just bought me a set. Fantastic. Glad you're there. Will Martin, hello. One of my DJ regulars that I have on a Friday night comes over on the bank for you guys listening to me while I'm DJing while you're out on the bank. That's fantastic evening. So we are looking at, as I said, we're going to look at the EV tonight and EVD and show you what's good about it and what makes it such a great value alarm. Let's start with housekeeping. As always, I have to explain this every week, but still, it's not clear, but I can't really make it much clearer, but we'll see how we get on. If you have new alarms, okay, so if you have the digital alarms, so txi-Ds or EVDs, you need the V2 accessories. Okay, so version 2 of the accessories. The model, the alarms are a different shape to the old ones. There's a TXI. You can see they are different size, different moldings. Therefore, the old accessories, the safety, and that's the safety for that one, and the d-lok, and that's the d-lok for that one. They are different sizes, so they do not fit. Let's turn that one down. So you need the V2 versions of the accessories for the new digital alarms. That's the EVD and the txi-D. Please tell the world about that and make that as clear as possible. The thing that is universal, the feet. So the feet work on both the original and the V2 versions of the d-lok. Okay, the feet are the same, but the main body, the shoe, what we call it, so you've got a foot and a shoe. Shoe is the bit that's different, and that's the main part of it. That's with the little spring and pin that sits in. So you need the V2 versions, but if you're looking for feet, spare feet, then that's what you need. Is just, there's only one pack of feet. People ask, oh, where are the V2 feet? No, the feet are the same. What else? Hangers, people. Hangers. Can you see them? Can I hold them far back enough? Okay, so we got our 4 different hangers. Well, we do 5 if you take the slim light variation. So Nightlight Pro, ES Nightlight, the slim light, and the new light V2, part of the nightly indication set. They all have the same size plug. There you go. They all have the same size plug. They will work in all the alarms that have the sockets. So TXI, that's got a socket there. You can see. Let's get it closer so you can see the cameras. Get it more in the middle. So that's got a socket. Nightlight socket. The new ones have a nightlight socket. You can see with a nice coloured ring. EV Plus, Standards Plus. Any Plus range alarm will take the hangers. Any new digital alarm takes the hangers. So they all work. You can use any one you want. So not a problem. All right. So hopefully that clears that up. Guys, if you are also applying for the extended warranty, we need a copy of a picture of the receipt, not a nice picture of your nice new alarms and their boxes. That's no good to me. I need a picture of your receipt if you're filling out the warranty. And I need, and I'm just going to show you, I need the serial number or barcode number that appears, and you see that there. Oh, let's get it in the middle. That focuses in. Go on, focus, focus, focus. There's a number there. Will it focus on it? Come on. In there's a number. Can't see it. Not going to focus. My camera's not going to focus. Ever so sorry. But there is a number in there on the barcode. Is it going to focus? Oh, you. No, it's not going to focus. There is a 7-digit number in there. And there's also a 7-digit number on the bottom of the box. Okay. That's the 7-digit number I need. It starts with a 1. And that's the number I need when you're filling out your extended warranties. Shops will stick their own EPOS stickers, which is their barcode for their stock holding, over the top. And they seem to stick them on the bottom of the box, which is over the top of our barcode. So people are putting in the wrong barcode. So it must be the 7-digit number that appears, if in doubt, in the battery compartment. And then we need your details. And you can add all your items on one form. I don't need a different form for each individual item. You can add them all on the form. You can have 1 million alarms if you've got them. If you want to buy that many, that's great. 1 million alarms all on your form, so it's not a problem. So please, it's pretty simple, straightforward. We get, hundreds of people a week filling out the forms. We've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of warranty, extra year warranty ones. And most people do it right. So it's just a few of you that you're banging your head against a brick wall trying to send me a picture of your product or the wrong barcode number. So please have a look at that. Let's just answer a few questions before we crack in. 45 minutes worth, so we've got plenty of time today. I just got a set of TXIs and receiver. Had them for 10 years, but lately the alarms are not setting off the receiver. Have you got any ideas, please? That's Jason Heapy. Is it the same with all the alarms, Jason? If it's the same with all the alarms, so all the alarms are not setting off the receiver, then that would point the finger at being the receiver that's at fault. If one's working perfectly, or two are working perfectly and one's not, then it points the finger at the alarms. The receiver will sort of work or won't work. It can't be brilliant with one and not brilliant with another. So it's either going to be completely useless with all of them if it's the receiver, or if there's an alarm at fault, then if the other two are working and one isn't, then that's the alarm at fault. If you need sending it back, use our app. We've got our automated system. So you can download our app, use our repair section in there, book it in, get it back to us. It's all automated, and we'll get them done as quickly as possible. About 10 working days at the moment. We are still very busy. James Joe, need help with my new RZIDs. I assume that's TXIDs. So maybe you can ask Jamie what the problem is you need help with, and we can go through that. Ian Northwood, yep, I know. Michael Justin, just to let you know, my TXID worked without any problems last weekend, even in the rain. Yes, they should, because we spent enough money making sure that they are absolutely perfect in all the research and development, and the machine coating that goes into making all our products. They're all machine coated. We have a robotic machine that coats all our circuits now, which we invested in to make sure that they absolutely bang on. So I've just seen whether I had a circuit to show you, but I haven't. Bang on 100% every time. Nothing leaves us. All the moldings are perfect. We've got brand new moldings. Everything sits together. We seal the cases as well. and everything is as bomb proof as you can, and still we get some issues because you just can't be 100% perfect. If I wish I could, but you cannot get perfection, but we get 99% there, and that is good enough for us because you can't really do much better than that. So we're pleased and we try our very best, but it doesn't help if you have a problem, I know, but you know, 99% within a product that sits out in the rain for years and years and years is pretty damn good as far as I'm concerned. Nick Hume had my IDs for around 3 months now. Love them. Highly recommended. Good, good, good. Colour matching. Only though due to voltage of LED. Wayne Tester. If you want, we recommend you use the same colour hangers as the alarms, because I've said this before, they're all driven at different voltages, so you've run the risk of blowing the LEDs. If you've got one that's too powerful, you start switching colours. I know it would look pretty if you could have all different ones, but it's not recommended. So because they're all driven at different voltages, so they all match and they're all balanced throughout the brightnesses. What's this? If you go through stealth mode on txi-Ds, yes I can. I'll do that before the end, Robert, but we'll do EVD first. All of my txi-Ds, hopefully be soon. Louis Mans, good. Great products, can't fall and keep up the good work. Thank you, Carl. I will try our best. So, what are we going to talk about today? Our main bulk of this is about this little fella here. So, that is our EVD. Okay, so, let's turn that one off. I've got my txi on. So, you will notice they look very, very similar. This is our txi-D. And this is the EVD. Now, the EVD is a non-radio alarm. Okay, the txi-D has a little aerial here, transmits to a receiver, and is $134.99, and the receiver is $149.99. And this has lots of whistles and bells and features. This fella here, oh, he blew my computer up. This fella here is $59.99, so 60 quid is what I was going to say. So $59.99. It doesn't have a radio. Okay, it has limited functionality, so it's only got one push button, and I'll show you what that does in a minute. It's got a little rubber O-ring instead of a metal one like the others do. I'll just show you. Must know what one of those looks like, but I've not got one. Oh, there you go. So there's the metal one. But this one comes with a little rubber one, which is quite good actually. It does compress quite well. So in some cases it might be slightly easier to use than the metal one, but it depends how much thread you got in there. It does come with a hard case, so it comes in the box with a hard case, so you get that. Whereas on the old EV Plus that we used to have, which was what I had in my hand there, it didn't come with a hard case. So this was $59.50, and you had to pay another £5 for a hard case. So effectively this is even better value before we even start. You've got two LEDs, you've got response and volume, the same as you have on the top end model, and there is no compromise on the build quality. Still works on vibration, obviously, as all our products do. So that's what's inside there, is our little vibration sensor. My little camera doesn't want to, there you go, it wants to focus on me rather than what I'm holding in front of it, but there we go. And this is built the same, still in England, still made in the UK. We individually test every single item we make, so every single EVD gets tested to check for functionality and for sensitivity. Same with our txi-Ds. Everyone gets checked for radio performance, make sure it's got the range, and it checks for functionality and make sure you know, that it's sensitive. That's what we check for in every single alarm that we ever do, and the receivers are checked as well for, you know, functionality and radio performance. So everything is as good as we can make it when we leave here. The big difference with the EVD over our old EV, which I should leave on my desk, but there's the old EV, so you can see that little box there, is that it has the full range of response. So on the old EV we had no switch, so it didn't have the high and low range of sensitivity. It just had one level of sensitivity, which was the low end. Well, this has the same, let's do the right control, the same response level as the more expensive model, the txi-d. So you've got full range of response. So already that's a big difference. So you've got the maximum response levels, and I'll flick to camera to show you in a bit when it's in action. And you've got the real low levels for coping with braid and, you know, heavy line, just like the top of the range winner. So that's a massive difference. So if you're an angler who maybe is a day session man or woman, beg your pardon, day session angler, and you know, doesn't need a radio, just doesn't need all the whistles and bells that the TXI offers, then you've got a simple turn on and go alarm that has the full range of response. So you get the benefits of the our vibration sensing system, and you can just then fish. So you can use all the accessories, snag ears, d-loks, all the hangers and everything else. You can all use the accessories with this model, but it's just got stripped down functionality. So you don't have security, you don't have adjustable LED, full adjustable LED brightness, you don't have the beep speed, you don't have the IMU movement detector, you don't have low battery warnings, you don't have you know, stealth mode. You've got limited tones. You can still change the tone. It's got 16 tones as opposed to 64. So it's got, you know, it's got some features. It's got mute, and you've got day and night LED brightness. So I can show you those features now. So when you would get it out of the box, you connect your battery, and you can turn it on by holding the button on the front. Okay, that's now on, and out the box it's set to a medium tone, and you've got mute. So if I just press and it beeps, you can see it's flashing, and I've got nothing. So if I just press again, that cancels. Let's turn that down a little bit so I don't blast everybody's ears. There you go. And that's in night brightness at the moment. Default will be night brightness. If I hold down the button and wait for 2 beeps, there you go. Whoa, lovely. Nice bright purple. So that's day, and I can hold it down again. Goes back to night, and night has the night marking. Can you see? There you go. You can see that. Ooh, where are you? It's opposite to where I want to go. There we go. It's confusing when it's opposite. It's like trying to rub your head and pat your tummy, or the other way around. So you can see that's glowing on there as gently. So you've got night marking in night mode, which is the default setting out the box, and then if I put that into day mode, and then when that cuts out, it's just adjusting, there's no night marking on there. There's no night marking at all. They don't glow on. If you want to change the tone, then you can turn the alarm off. You hold it down for about 5 seconds to turn it off. Alright, so if I turn it on, I keep the button held down and wait for 2 beeps. So it's similar to its big brother or big sister, the txi-d. And now if I hold the button down, I can cycle through the tones. It's got 16 tones, so let's repeat the tones. So if I let go and press again, it'll go up the scale. Let go, press again, goes down the scale. If I keep letting go, if I keep pressing, it will repeat the tone. And if I let go, it will time out, and then that's your tone set, about 5-6 seconds. 3, 4, 5. There we go. So it's done. Set the tone, and that's it. So you've got mute, day-night mode, and you can set your tone. And then you've got the volume. Let's put that into night mode so it doesn't glare everybody. And then you've got your response. You just set and turn on, and you can go fishing. And you've got your socket in the bottom there. It's got the little bung in. Oh, let's pull the bung out so you can see. This is one of my test ones. So there's your little socket there for your hangers. Put that in there. But it does not have a radio. I can't stress that enough. It does not have a radio. It does not have a radio option. That socket is for our hangers, and therefore it latches on. They're the same, follows the same as the LEDs. So whatever comes out on the LEDs will come out of your hangers. That's what that socket is meant for. And that's, you know, how we've got the price down. You know, we've tried to get the price down as far as we can with the technology that does have an inherent cost, because the vibration sensing is more expensive than just putting a roller in it. It always has done, and that's just the way it is because of the complicated electronics that are involved. But you've got a full range of response there. And if I flick to camera 2, come in, camera 2. So there's my I've got a green one on there, and not got the best camera angle because you're not seeing both LEDs. Maybe I can adjust that slightly. Not quite for now, but you can't see both LEDs, but you get the idea. So you can see, if I get in a little bit closer there we go. So you can see where I've got the response level just over halfway. If I crank that up to maximum, you can see how sensitive that is, or responsive it is to the line movement. Okay, so that will be effectively just like an old TXI Plus, because it's got no beep speed on there, so you can't turn that down, but you've got the high levels of sensitivity that a standard Plus or a TXI Plus would have had. So that that kicks in, and that's well lively. Or I can turn it right down. It's virtually off. Oh, it's not even beeping at all, that one. Let's do that one. That's because it's right down. So that's for, there you go. So if you're using braid, you know, if that's a way you fish, or locked up with tight lines, you can turn it right down, and or really, you know, inclement weather, waves, wherever you're fishing, then you've got that full sweep on there of the response control. And you've got the beauty of, let's turn that back up, you've got the beauty of mute. So I can set my hangers or set my bobbins when I've recast, and just have mute, and then it will time out, but just press the button, just cancels it. So it doesn't have any you know, low battery warnings or anything like that. But basically, once this, you know, you'll start to see the LEDs go dim and the sound will start to die, and that's a pretty good indication that maybe it's time to change the battery. But again, battery life never an issue. You got well over a year. You got even more probably with the EVD, because you know it's got less things going on inside it than the TXI. Got no radiator power or anything like that. So you know, you've got lots of you know, battery power there a lifetime. So you've got a very oh, knocked it there. You've got a very universal indicator, yeah, bar indicator, that has all the benefits of vibration sensing, all the quality of its older sibling, the txi-d. You know, it's done in exactly the same way. It's assembled in the same way. It's coated in the same way. So it's absolutely you know, 100% as good as we could make it. And that, you know, for £60 less a penny, you've got a fantastic little bite alarm if you don't need a radio. So it's a very competitive little product. So hopefully that gives you some insight into the EVD. Let's just flip back and see what questions we've got, see if anyone's got any questions for that. Let's have a look. Where we go? Does D stand for digital? Yes, it does. Naglis, well spotted. Yes, D stands for digital. So TXI, TXI digital, EV digital. Angel, did they have a warranty? Yes, they had the same warranty as the older or the more expensive one. So 2-year manufacturer's warranty on all our products, and you can then apply for the extra warranty, the 3rd year for free when you register online. So yes, you get the same warranty and everything that comes with our top end product. What about if I have snag bar back cover? Does it easily go in a hard case? But txi-d, yes, they do. If you look there, we have designed the hard case, so it's got the little ridges in there. You can see roughly where it would sit anyway. They just go on the back, and it sits in there with the snag ears bars on. The old ones did as well. The old ones were more of a rubberized cover, which could tend to go a little bit harder over time and make it a little bit stiff going over the snag bar back. Easiest thing to do, guys, if you do have the older ones and you've got the hard case, you do find it a bit stiff with the snag bar back on, is just to soak your hard case, your rubber case, in some hot water, get it nice and soft, and then just let it cool over something of a similar size. Find a little jar, can, or wouldn't recommend necessarily drying over that because you want to sit the water all over it and let it sit in its own juices, but something similar. Let it cool and to stretch it, and that will revitalize the cover and save you spending £5 on a new one. But or a new one will be probably softer, but the sun gets to them. It's just UV is very difficult to overcome, and that's just why. I think they're made for snagging support. So, how much you charge for a service for 3 txis and a receiver? Jason Hippie, what is the problem exactly? We don't service them. We fix faults. So if we've got faults that we can identify, no problem at all. A bit like a TV, you don't get a man in every 6 months to service your TV. Electronics work or they don't. If you've got a specific fault, then we can certainly resolve that for you, and we do that within 10 working days. But we don't just send everything back and let's look at them, because it's just pointless, and you'll be without your alarms when you want to go fishing. So Jason, if you've got need a little bit more help with your issue, then come back to me directly. Get on Messenger and we can help you with that. Can you get a receiver for an EVD alarms? No, Christopher Cook. No, it has not got any feature, no socket or anything for a radio. It's a non-radio alarm. It's £60. That's as good as we can get for that money with what we do. So you can't have your cake and eat. If you want a radio, then you've got the txi-d, which has all the whistles and bells. Nathan, I asked you before about the receiver turning off in your pocket. There needs to be a lock function. It happened a few times now on the txi-d. Was in the swim next door, and my son went back to the rod, bent round with the cut wire, turned on again my pocket. You need a hard case to stop this. Well, obviously, if you've got it in your pocket, on the inside of your pocket, then yes, it's possible of pressing the button. It shouldn't really turn itself off. You've got 3. You'd have to hold down all 3 buttons wedged in your pocket. That's the whole point of the 3-button press, and functions needing 2 buttons. You've got a belt clip that probably have it on the outside of your belt. You've got a lanyard that has the receiver on the outside. If you're sitting it on your bivvy table, it's not getting pressed. So yes, if you've got it tucked in your pocket and you're scratching around, then I suppose there is a possibility of pressing all the buttons, but generally pressing 1 or 2 buttons doesn't cause it to turn itself off. So not sure how you've managed to do that, but if I had the belt clip, I'd have it on the outside, so then I wouldn't be pressing on it. But I don't know. But okay, it's fair enough. If it's done it, it's done it. Maybe it's something we can look at in the future of having something that goes over. We can't have a hard case, a clear one. It's just not possible. It's just going to ruin. You can't do anything with it if you put a hard case over it. You won't hear it. You can't use any of the buttons. You can't change the volume. So maybe there's something that we can look at in the future. If people are pressing the buttons accidentally in your pocket, then fair enough. Heard you say briefly about using different coloured hangers with your alarm. Just ordered 3 txi blue, and the receiver's planning to use my purple hangers from my old set for the time being. Cause damage. As I say, Louis, it's not recommended to use different coloured hangers with different coloured alarms. It's always recommended to use the same colour, because they are all, and that's not word of lie, they are all driven at different voltages to maintain their colour balance. So in terms of the brightness levels, so some are driven less, some are driven more. If you start mixing and matching, you could start overdriving LEDs. You could run the risk of blowing them up. So it's just not recommended. I know it might look pretty, but just not recommended. Hi, my receiver light flashes every 5 minutes or so. What could be the cause of this? That is the power on indicator. So Chris Kamara, not the Chris Kamara, surely. Chris Kamara, that is the power on indicator. So you can turn that on or off. Have a look at section 3.1 of the instructions. There's videos on our YouTube channel or on our app, and you can turn that off. But that's basically because there's no switch. There's no switch. I can't see it's on. Then when it turns, it just blinks every 2 minutes. A very gentle blink, a bit like a smoke detector, just to let you know everything's well, everything's working. That's what's happening. Let's have a look. Things that people answer each other's questions. I love that when people answer other questions. It means I'm doing half my job properly. I've never done all my job properly. I've only ever done half of it. But that's good that people are answering each other's questions. How much is it for 3 TXI backs? If you need replacement backs, Mark Patrick, they are available free from our spares section of our app. We're just about to update completely our spares and shop so that it's much easier for people to use. They've been using it anyway, but there's going to be pictures and make life a bit easier so you know what spares go with what product. So by the end of the week, that will be completely revamped, but all the spares are still available. So get on our app and use the spare section and you can get free parts. Just myself, early best birthday present. 3 red txi-ds, excited. Just need to learn about as manufactured. Kevin, must go through. There are loads of videos on the YouTube and all the download our app. Our app has all bite-sized instructions. It has quick guides, and I've done videos to show you quick setup and all sorts like that. They are a doddle, really. You know, just to turn on and go. They're all got presets, so you can just turn on and go, and it's there for you. Just change the tone. You can turn them on, go fishing, get used to them, and then you can start using the functions. As I always say, it's like a TV. Your big, whatever, 65-inch flat screen that you've got on your wall at home, if you're lucky, or maybe a 32-inch or whatever, your flat screen TV has all sorts of functionality with a book about that thick telling you about dynamic sound response and cinema picture and sports sound. And what do? You just turn it on, tune it in, and whatever. You might connect Sky to it and you just watch BBC. You don't go and change the picture every time you watch a movie. You don't change it when you watch sport. You don't change it when you're watching EastEnders. You just watch it. And again, you can if you want to, and there will be some techies out there that are changing the sound, dynamic sound for all sorts of things because they want to watch it movie sound. But anyway, similar principle. If you want to change it, there are about half a dozen features on the TXI that you can fiddle with, or you just turn it on and go. So it's Bachelor. How are you, Lee? I'm very well, thank you very much. How are you? Oh, I'm all good. I'm all good. Let's have a look. That's the one, Lee. Thanks, mate. I wish I was the one. Yeah. Okay, Chris. No worries. Snap bars are amazing. Very quick, easy to take off. Thank you very much. Yes, Spencer Batchelor. Right. Who else? Somebody wanted to know about stealth mode, and we get asked this quite a lot. Quite a few people come in and they go, "Oh, I've turned my LEDs are not working. I put them into night mode and I get a run and nothing happens. All I've got is night marking." Well, this is because you probably put it into stealth mode at some point and not realise. So stealth mode is, and I'll show you. So let's turn this on, and there we go. So that's in day, that's in night. So LEDs flash and it will go into night marking. Okay, and let me just get a green hanger for you so you can see, because that will show that very well. Let me just grab the one that was over there and plug that on the front of that one. Right, I'm going to turn the brightness of the LED up a little bit as well. So this is okay. So I'm in level 4 and this is in night mode. So I'll have night marking. Oh, I've just set it off again, just to show you. So when that goes out, you will see. Oh, I really can't do it in reverse. There we go. There we go. Oh, what's that? So you could probably just see that that's glowing on ever so gently. Okay, you can certainly see it in the hanger a little bit. Where we go? Not the greatest demonstration, this one, is it? But you'll see in a minute what I'm talking about. So the LEDs still come on and they flash. Okay, so that's in night mode, it's flashing. What I can do is I can deactivate the LEDs in the alarm, and so that they just come through on the hanger. And the reasoning behind that is that when at night, when you jump out the bivvy, am I looking to see how far the alarm's moved, or am I looking to see how far the bobbin's moved? I look at the bobbin, so therefore the flashing of these and glaring of these is distracting from the glow of the bobbin. That's the theory behind it. So if I want stealth mode, if I turn the alarm off, I turn it on and go into setup. So this is only available on the txi-d. So I turn it on, go into setup, wait for 2 beeps, that's setup. Okay, now this one does tone, so push button 1 does tone, but push button 2 does stealth. So if you see, the LEDs have gone off. If I press it again, it's come back on. So if I do that, that's now off, but this one is still on. It's not very dark there, is it? And you can't see it quite as well. It needs to be a little bit darker. If I turn the lights off, you'll see. In fact, why don't I do that? So just bear with me and I will show you how effective stealth mode can be. So if I turn the lights off. Ooh. There we go, scary. I'm still here, you can just about see me. So you can see that that is glowing, but the lights on the LEDs are just in night marking. So I'm blowing on that. That's just the mode. So I get a few beats and my bobbin's going up and I can see my bobbin nice. And I can adjust the brightness of my hanger the same as I would have adjusted the brightness of the main LED. So I can turn that up. And now I've got that on maximum. So that looks fantastic at night. That's glowing up, that's doing that. But my LEDs in my alarm are just on night marking. If I put it back into day mode, I've got my LEDs back on again and there's no night marking on there. That's just glowing up as normal. So if I go back to night mode, so they're on night marking and that's glowing and it looks evil. Let me turn my light back on. So hopefully that shows you. So if your run lights are not working, you know, when you get a run, the LED isn't working, it means you've got it in stealth mode. So you just go back into setup. I'll deactivate that again and show you. So turn it back on. Okay, and now that one got it's back on again and it's back to normal. So now when I get a run, the LEDs come on. So that's stealth mode. Again, another feature of the txi-d which you may or may not use, but it remembers your settings. So if you've got that instigated, you would need to deactivate it once it's done. Okay, so hopefully that explains. I think somebody, I can't remember who asked that now, but going back there. So anything else? About 5 minutes to go. If you've got any other questions, stick them up there. Don't forget to download our app. I do keep mentioning our app, and I will show you that now. There's some very exciting things happening on the app. So there's our app. It's got quick guides for, and it pops up. There you go. Is it going to focus? There you go. So quick guides for the txi-ds and the RXD. It's got video guides for all our products. It's even got, we've added on there now our old products. So this is not just for you know, people with the new digital arms. It's got all the old stuff on there as well. So if you're new to Delkim or you've got old products, you just need a little bit of a refresher course helping what you're doing, or you've bought some second-hand ones and need some help, then there's loads of stuff on there. All stuff on our accessories, that's on there. Our visual indication systems are all on there. So there's loads of stuff to help. We've got instructions on there in multiple languages. That's our COVID thing. So just scroll through. There are Polish and Spanish and Czech and Hungarian. There's all sorts of languages on there. So hopefully, you know, everything that you need on there. You can do your warranty on there. So that's quick and easy. You can book in any returns that you might have if you have a problem. Just quick and simple, or touch a button. Spares, and that's about to be updated. So all spares can be done from there as well, which is great. And you've got find your local stockist, and there's some other little exciting things coming on there. And if you look quickly at the bottom on my little test one, what does that say? Oh, ringtone. So be prepared for that. There's something coming that will just a little nicety for you guys. So please download our app. It's completely free. It's on Android and it is on App Store. So a couple of questions before we go. Are the EVDs okay for night fishing? Yes, of course. All our products work for all conditions everywhere you go, Chris Mitchell. So yes, absolutely. They've got the I say the maximum response levels the same as the top of the range txi-d. So absolutely perfect. They've got night marking. You can turn the LEDs into day or night mode. So yes, they're designed for all conditions, all weathers, night, day, whatever you're doing. They'll be great for specimen anglers as well. You know, for 60 quid, you've got fantastic sensitivity. You've got the benefit of the vibration sensor, those high levels of response that you need for specialist angling. So they're on there too. I never understand why specimen anglers use cheap roller buzzers. I know they may be, you know, trying to save some money somewhere on the line, but you're fishing for finicky bites, small fish, roach, perch, pike that pick up, and you want to use this. So our alarms are perfect for those kind of situations, not just for carp. So just tell the world. How long does it take for spares to be sent out? We're sending out spares, Nick, on Blackshaw on Facebook. We're sending them out about a weekly basis, so it's sort of a week rotation, a Wednesday to Wednesday. So obviously we're trying to maintain social distancing within our office. We're having to work a bit differently. We're trying to keep up with orders. We're sending out stuff to customers, you know, end users in terms of shop orders and spares a couple of days a week. That's what we're doing to do. So it depends when you order it, but it shouldn't take any longer than a week. Can you mute the receiver? I always forget middle of the night. Well, I do. No, you can't mute the receiver. So Scott Bez, you can't mute the receiver, because if you can mute the receiver, then somebody can take your alarms like that. Because the only way to mute your receiver is turn the volume down or turn it off. So if you're setting up, you've got mute on the alarms if you've got the speaker up. But if you mute the transmission or mute the receiver, then somebody's going to have your alarms away. So that is why we do not mute in that way. So that is why. I think that's about it for tonight, people. So I do appreciate your company. Thanks for being part of the Delkim family. I'm here anytime to answer any questions. You know, if you're on the social media, that's generally me that's answering stuff. Email and social media. If you've got any questions, need any help, then please, excuse me, half my dinner coming up. Please do get in touch. Do not be scared. There are no questions too stupid or too minor, because tell me, I've been asked some of the most ridiculous things ever. So please do not feel scared about asking anything, because we're here to help, and we know that sometimes things can seem a little bit daunting and complicated. So please do ask if you need any help. One more. What's this one? Barney. I get 3 txi-d. I love it. Delkim the best. Brilliant. How many times do you get asked that question? I get asked questions. Lots of questions. I said one of the best ones I got is when somebody rang up and sends that I've been asked. I sent my alarm in. Okay. So obviously we have different coloured LEDs. So he asked, what colour alarm have you returned? A black one. I'll leave you on that. All right. Good night. God bless. See you next week. And if you want to join me on a Friday night for some house music, please do. Cheers, guys. Have a good